Love picking fights with apes. Last time I picked fight with apes, it was AMC.
You just picked a fight with 1,000 gorillas. We diamond-handed. Shorty, you gon' burn.
Matthias, I'm not so sure. Pop in my Discord, you can see what I work on.
You're gonna be scared when we hold all the shares. And you get squeezed and you can't find shares to cover because we're never selling.
Okay, let me get this straight, apes. Let's say there's 50 million shares of a stock.
Yeah.
Okay, 50 million shares of the stock, and you apes own 30 million shares of the stock.
Hell yeah, we the biggest holder by far. We apes.
I'm gonna draw an ape here. Right. So you're the apes, and you're the biggest stockholder. You own 30 million shares, so you know that's a good thing, right?
Hell yeah, we paid top dollar for them shares. Now you're short, you're gonna burn.
Okay, I'm gonna get to that in a second. So I'm short 100,000 shares. This is $20 stock, right? That's $2 million. Okay, now you and your apes, you bought all these shares, but the stock price didn't go up for some reason. But anyway, there's still 20 million shares that are in non-ape hands, right?
Right. We gonna buy them too.
Okay, got it. So these are in human hands, non-ape. You own the float.
We own the float.
Yes. Okay, so, all right, so let's say the stock is, trading around 20, up and down.
It's being manipulated by you hedgies.
I'm not trading it, so I'm not manipulating it.
You got phantom shares.
All right, let's just stick to the point here. All right. So you guys own those 30 million shares, and they're not going anywhere, right?
Ain't going nowhere. Diamond hands.
Let me draw a little diamond here. I'm not a good artist. So.
Diamond hands.
Okay, right. So now I look at the order book.
What's that?
Well, it's a list of bids and asks. So here's the bids, here's the asks. Okay, and I see a bid for 20.5, and I see an offer for 20.6. So because you guys are apes and you own all the float, how do you influence this order book?
Well, we have the float.
Right, but somebody's willing to buy at 20.5 and somebody's willing to sell at 20.6. And when that happens, the last sale, let's say if somebody bought, it would be 20.6. If somebody sold, it would switch to 20.5, and it would just keep kind of going back and forth, right?
Yeah, that's how the market works. What's your point?
Well, I guess my point is, it seems like the apes have nothing to do with this.
What do you mean? We own the float.
Yeah, but you're not market participants anymore. You basically gave all the control to the non-apes who are trading the stock. You actually haven't done anything. Because now the non-apes control the price. If I sell even 100 shares at 20.5, the stock price goes down to 20.5. And if somebody buys 100 shares, the stock price goes to 20.6. You have nothing to do with it. So it seems like, you guys are diamond handing and everything, but how do you, if you're not really involved in the price discovery of the stock anymore, it seems like you haven't done anything to change the price. The last sale of the stock is going to be what matters. So if the stock price goes down to say 19.10 or times 19.20 for the offer, then you're still not involved unless you're going to buy some. But if you're already all in, you have no more capital to buy. So everybody else controls the stock. Don't you think you should sell when it peaks so that you can buy it back when it drops?
Diamond hand, we can't sell. We made a promise.
Don't you see how you're actually hurting the stock price? Because you're giving the power to the rest of the market that will now dictate the stock price instead of you?
I never thought of it that way. But I can't sell. I'd be betraying the apes. Can't break the oath.
What?
The oath.
Oath?
Oath. All right, Shkreli, you think you're smart. You think you're tough. You can't even fathom what we're doing. Change that little thing you got on there from 50 million shares, okay? Change that to 49 million that we own to float. There's only 1 million left. Now you're gonna burn, shorty.
Okay. I see what you're doing. This is a bit different. Okay, so let's say you're right. You know, you guys buy all the stock and it goes up.
Now that's what I'm talking about, is MOASS.
All right, so stock goes from 20 to 40. Sweet. You guys are doing great, right?
Yeah, we doubled up. And we're gonna double again till I'm the richest guy in Bama.
Understood. All right, so now the bid is 40 and the ask is 48.05.
You keep going to this bid ask thing. I don't like that.
Right, but the last sale was how they determine if you have a margin call or what your account is worth, right? So all that really matters is what the last price was, whether it traded at the bid or their ask. It doesn't really matter, but that's the new price. That's your new worth. If you own 1 million shares, you're worth 40 million if it trades here. You're worth 40,050,000 if it trades there. You can't really change that. That's just how the market works. It's called mark to market. I know I wish I could mark my stocks to whatever price I wanted. It seems like that's what you guys are trying to do.
Hell yeah. We just gonna trade it amongst ourselves. Mark this mark this company to 600 a share. Why not? They do it on Wall Street all day. I want to do it too.
I understand. Okay, so let's say this happens. You guys diamond handed it, but what happens to the person that bought it for like 20 and now it's at 40?
They gonna diamond hand it.
I understand that, but let's say that person owns 1 million shares and they want to pay taxes or, buy a car or something. They only want to sell 100 shares.
I don't see a problem with that. That's only 100 shares.
Okay, right, but they're going to make the price go down. Because they are now hurting the stock price. The million shares they own kind of are more of a liability than an asset, because the only thing they could really do is make the price go down when they sell. And in fact, they're going to have a disproportionate impact on the price because you guys own the float. And when they sell, their shares are some of the only shares left trading. So you kind of have hurt yourself, I think, more than helped yourself by cornering this stock. In fact, if you look at how the corners have worked, they generally don't. Nobody's ever cornered a stock. It's never actually worked in the history of finance. Markets have been around for 300 years. I don't know. I think the thinking that some people have is like, it's magical thinking, and I don't know why. I mean, some people buy, like, the cost of admission is worth, it's honestly worth to many people the entertainment they get out of it, because they think they're sticking a middle finger up to Wall Street or something, but the funny thing is Wall Street sticks one right back out. I heard a rumor of how much Citadel lost on GameStop. Some people think Citadel made money on GameStop. Does anybody think that? I'm not supposed to talk about this either. Very much not supposed to discuss this matter. maybe it is public. How much did Citadel lose on GameStop? It's a big number. Big number. I mean, Citadel's still in business, still doing fine, right? So you can guess, but they didn't make money on GameStop. They didn't make money shorting GameStop or doing payment order flow. They got their ass kicked. But I think that markets are a little bit weird. Like so take quantum computing for example. This is going to sound a little like voodoo and like technical analysis, so you got to bear with me and just take this with a grain of salt. Yeah, they did not make money on GameStop. Citadel lost a gigantic amount of money on GameStop.